Hi, I'm Bruce Matson. Welcome to my YouTube channel and welcome to my first video about my Appalachian Trail through hike. Hi, I'm Bruce Matson. Welcome to my YouTube channel and welcome to my first video about my Appalachian Trail through hike. I originally thought I would do videos about the hike. However, so many people out there in what I call YouTube land, so many people who've posted videos that benefited me, made me realize there's a huge audience out there of people who are really interested in the Appalachian Trail. And because I'm doing a fundraiser for the Appalachian Trail Conservancy, I thought it would help me let people like you know of the huge undertaking that I have committed to, and hopefully maybe that'll be of interest to you. I will do a video specifically about that fundraising effort pretty soon. I say pretty soon because actually head to Georgia in less than 2 weeks to start my hike. It took me a while to get on YouTube. I have to admit to being somewhat technologically challenged. I planned to do this many weeks ago and make an announcement and try to get a following before I left, but I quite frankly had trouble figuring out how to edit videos. So I made a number of videos while I was out on shakedown hikes. So I had the raw material, but I had the darndest time trying to figure out how to edit them and put them in a position where they could be watched like this one, hopefully. It's a little embarrassing, but I just had trouble figuring it out. But finally, I was able to do that, and able to do that before I left. So this is my first video. I decided to do it outside. This is my backyard. It's not a very nice day, but why not jump into it just like I'm going to have to do with the hike. We're going to have less than perfect weather out there some days, and so I love being outdoors, and I think it's most appropriate to try to do these outdoors, so here it is. My trail name is RTK. You may have seen that. Some of you actually have already been following me on this tube a little bit, on this channel I should say a little bit. There have been audios of a podcast that have been uploaded to this channel for the last 14-15 weeks. You might have heard of that podcast. It's called Returning to Katahdin, an Appalachian Trail Dream. And I have been the subject of that podcast as I have been preparing to depart, and I'll continue to be the subject of that podcast as I try to make my way to Mount Katahdin. It's called Returning to Katahdin because I'm from the north. I grew up in Connecticut, and I fell in love with the outdoors and backpacking and canoeing in high school and college. I came south for college, and then I stayed here for law school and met my wife and settled down, and have been living in Virginia now for certainly many more years than I lived in Connecticut. So part of the theme of my hike is that I'm heading back to a passion that I used to have. I'm getting more and more involved in the outdoors like I really enjoyed and did years ago, and I've been able to do that some the last few years and been leading up to this big hike. I turned 60 years old last year and was able to work out an arrangement with my law firm that allowed me to have some time off to attempt this hike. And I expect it's going to take 5 or 6 months, maybe longer, but I have that flexibility now, and I'm able to attempt this hike that I've dreamed about. I say I've dreamed about it because in 1974 I saw a presentation by someone who had just set a new speed record for hiking the Appalachian Trail. I was in Connecticut still at something called Boys State, and there was an evening presentation by someone I have now learned was Warren Doyle, and many of you know the name Warren Doyle. He has hiked the Appalachian Trail more than any person, reputedly 17 times. He spends a lot of time these days training and teaching other people how to successfully do a through hike. He leads groups and is able to get the whole group to finish as a group. So I didn't know it at the time, but I was being inspired by an Appalachian Trail legend. And at the end of that presentation, over 40 years ago, I said to myself, I'm going to do that one of these days. Finally, that day has come around, 43, almost 44 years later. But I'm excited as I can be to head off and attempt this great journey. So before I sign off on my first video, I do want to do a shout out to a number of people in the YouTube land who have posted videos over the years that have inspired me, that have taught me, that have entertained me about the trail. Like I said, I never really planned to do videos, but I certainly watched a lot, and I know what an audience there is out there, and I want to try to remember those people and thank them. I may forget one or two, but one of the first people I ever watched was Crystal Weaver, Caboose, and Sam I Am. I watched all of Spielberg's videos, Kiwi, Highlander 57, Bigfoot, Between the Blazes, Loner, Darwin, Early Riser, and Dixie, of course. Everyone has seen Dixie's videos. And I just want to thank all these people for all the contributions they've made to this audience. And I would hope that when I finish, maybe I'll make a very small contribution as well. As I said, I'm going to have a weekly video while I'm on the trail. And in these 2 last weeks, as a run-up to my departure, I'm going to be trying to improve my craft in editing these videos and get out a few more videos so I can practice, so you can see a little bit about my gear and my shakedown hikes, and that maybe I'll have the requisite skills to do some videos from the trail once I start. So thanks again. I hope you'll follow my adventure, and I hope you'll encourage me along the way, because I'm pretty sure that most people who make it to Katahdin have had a lot of friends and family and encouragement to help them accomplish what I think is going to be the hardest thing I've ever tried to do. So thanks again, and hope you'll come back and look for future videos about my preparation and my through hike. Thanks.